Good evening and welcome to the Nary School Christmas program. This is more than a little bit familiar to me because I did spend my first 8 years of formal education here at Nary School, and it was good. It provided the foundation for my further high school, college, my career, and the rest of my life. But now, let's go back to 1972. The location is the school vestibule right here.
Oh my, I think we got about 6 inches last night.
You got 6 inches of what?
Snow! 6 inches of snow! And we don't even have our snow fence up yet.
Well, I think we only got 3 or 4 at our house.
Boy, you know that white stuff came down just in time for Christmas.
What are you doing here?
We're here to pack the treats. You know, the nuts and the candy.
We brought the popcorn balls.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see anything about this in the schedule.
Oh, it's a community tradition. We've been doing this every year for ages now. They call us Santa's helpers.
What night is the Christmas program this year?
Holiday celebrations are detrimental to the educational process and are not allowed. They are the waste of time and not part of the core curriculum.
Oh, no, Graham. Well, there's been a program here at Nary School ever since the beginning.
On my correction, there is no Nary district. This school is now part of District 32.
District 32, you mean?
This room here is part of a district that is, geographically speaking, the size of Rhode Island. And at a long last, the country kids will have a chance at a decent education.
I thought we voted to keep this old school open. To keep things just the way they were.
Well, yeah, we did. But it looks like that District 32 just walks right in here anyway. And took over.
We've heard rumors about a new school.
A new school?
Yes, it's going to be called Horace May.
Well, who is Horace May? Who is Horace May?
I have never heard of him.
You think they could have kept the name? Could have kept the name. It was in honor of the timber cruiser Tom Nary.
Or they could have called it the Helga Swenson School. She was the first white child born in this
There you
township.
go. Well, see, they could have given it an Ojibwe name too, like Bungus Street. You know, the creek.
Well, we might as well leave the popcorn balls here. Maybe the children can still enjoy them.
Take them with you. Holding treats not prepared in a certified kitchen are not allowed. Please, see us off. I'm very busy.
Well, looks like District 32 has decided to
the timber cruiser Tom Nary first saw this area with its tall stands of virgin white pine, he called it Goshen. He said this would be a fine place for a sawmill. First, Tom Nary needed men to fell the big timber. Word got out and the men came. Lumberjacks, Norwegians, Swedes, Finns, Germans, Irish, French, Easterners, Canadians. They poured in from everywhere. Soon Nary had the biggest sawmill operation south, east, and west of the Mississippi. Nary had everything. A jail, saloons, hotels, general stores, its own post office, its own jail. It was a much bigger town than that one north of us, the one they called Bemidji. We even had a house of ill repute. The lumberjacks were hard-working, hard-drinking men. Wherever you have hard-working, hard-drinking men, you are likely to also find ladies. Dance hall and a hotel called the Big Hall Building. It had 36 rooms on the upper floor. Enough said about that. Civilization found its way to northern Minnesota. It wasn't long before Nary had at least 2 churches. The Nary Baptist Church was built in 1902. The Norwegian immigrants had founded Waldeck Lutheran in 1898. In 1899, the citizens of Nary decided to build a school. They organized a school board, put up a one-room building, hired a teacher, and hung a bell taken from a Mississippi riverboat. Winters were rough, but the settlers were hearty and sociable. Nothing could stop them from celebrating the winter holidays. Imagine what a Christmas program in that one-room school would have been like. Railroad came through in 1908. Nary was the end of the line. Yes, Nary was as far north as civilization went, for a while. Then fire swept through and destroyed the town twice. Some say it was 3 times. After the final fire went through, the railroad went on north to Bemidji. And Nary did not rebuild. World War I was far away, but it touched the Nary community in real ways. 2 men came home shell-shocked and wandered the country roads. One carried a club and the other carried a gun. Still another lived with the after effects of mustard gas. Yes, Nary had its share of violence. There were suicides and at least one murder and a grisly dismemberment, the remains of which were buried in the Maldick Cemetery. Shortly after World War I, out of the ashes of the burned town, a consolidated school arose. It was the ultimate in modern buildings, Italian in design, with electricity, modern plumbing, wood and coal heat, and theater lighting. The specs from Foss and Foss architects called for assembly, recitation, domestic science, agricultural labs, and classrooms for grades 1 through 12. Imagine that, all the way through high school. The first buses were horse-drawn. The bus routes picked up students from the former Snewstad, Paulson, Crowland, Stone, and Slough schools. And so the Nary community came to be. Most of the residents were farmers. Meanwhile, the nation went through conflict and economic hardships. The school with its indoor toilets, hot and cold running water, bright lights at the flip of a switch, radiators, and warmth would have been in stark contrast to the farmhouses in the countryside. The Great Depression didn't hit Nary as hard as some areas. Times had always been hard. People already knew how to do without. They knew how to live off the stony glacial drift that passed for soil in Hubbard County. They knew how to raise food and how to have a good time, even when they didn't have a dime. The 30s saw a lot of foot traffic along the railroad track. Hobos rode the boxcars looking for work and often asked for a sandwich or someplace to sleep in exchange for doing odd jobs. Hard times in northern Minnesota were compounded by the fact that the area wasn't ideal for agriculture. When the farms didn't make enough money, there were other enterprises, some which are better off left unmentioned. The Depression corresponded roughly with Prohibition, an era of bootlegging, speakeasies, blind pigs, and copper stills, and drinking lemon extract on the sly. Sometime in the 30s, Banner Tangborn organized the Nary Community Band. Meanwhile, Adolf Hitler had become the Chancellor of Germany and dictator of Nazi Germany. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, the United States entered World War II. Nary boys were drafted. A few enlisted. Some didn't come back. World War II corresponded roughly with the popularity of swing music.
Chicago, where he had a boogie style, no one else could play. He was the top man of his class.
If the Great Depression didn't impact Nary much, neither did the post-war economic boom. With the possible exception of the baby boom, there got to be quite a few Naryites. Most typically, the men came back to the humble farms and rocky soil around Nary and continued farming. By this time, the Nary school consisted of grades 1 through 8. Throughout the years, many different teachers had left their mark on the students. Some are remembered to this day. The 50s and 60s were relatively peaceful as far as the world affairs were concerned. Notable events were the Korean War in the early 50s, the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, and the 1963 assassination of President John Kennedy. By the late 60s, people were asking, where is this place called Vietnam? A yearly highlight of community entertainment was the school Christmas program, consisting of skits, songs, and recitation, much like this. Then one day, the inevitable happened.
I'm sure glad we're done with this place. What a dump. This school is old and run down and falling apart. Look at these broken windows. Oh my goodness. Those two old ladies again. What do they want? They never seem to get it into their heads. This building doesn't belong to their Nary community. It's property of District 32. I remember. They kicked like a steer when we tried to heave those stupid pink and green benches down the fire escape. They came running and screeching, "You can't do that!" Nobody had the guts to tell them that it was none of their business. We had that junky old piano rolled out to the fire escape, too. They put a stop to that. One man had the nerve to put a note on it saying, that read, "This piano belongs to the Nary community, not District 32. He signed his name, Fred Ames. And there it sits, still looking ugly. It's a bad mistake to let a community member have a say in school business.
Special announcement at this time. The Nary School will hold a reunion on Saturday, August 9th. If you're interested in Nary School reunion, mark it on your calendar, August 9th. And now we're pleased to have with us tonight the Trek North Choir, doing an encore performance of their concert 2 nights ago.
The Trinity Players.
Trinity Players. Wowee!
I don't look like the Trek North group, do I? No problem.
I like to dry hand.
good, doesn't it? All the squeaks. Okay. Welcome to all of you here tonight. And I've got everybody playing tonight except Mother is kids 15 through 17, including me. So, the deal is, we did it for our Sunday school program. We only had 2 boys in Sunday school. They went fishing with Grandpa this weekend. So we've got a couple replacements. Again, old men playing kids. So we thank you. Bring the candles, light the tree. There's something Christmas does for me. It weaves a charm that casts a spell. It sheds a warmth I cannot tell. Thank God, whatever else may be, for all that Christmas does to me. The Herdmans were absolutely the worst kids in the history of the world. By the way you saw them come in, they all lied and stole, smoked cigars, talked dirty, hit little kids and never respected their teachers, and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken down tool shed. In fact, it was a terrific fire. 2 engines, 2 police cars, all the firemen, and 5 dozen donuts set up in Field Market. The donuts were supposed to be for the firemen, but the time they got the fire out, the donuts were all gone. The Herdmans got them. What they couldn't eat, they stuffed in their shirt pockets and down the front of their shirts. The fire chief gave all the kids a lecture about playing with matches. Turns out, though, the neighbors had been pestering Mr. Shoemaker to do something about the old tool shed, because it was about to fall down anyway. So they said the fire was a blessing in disguise. It's being said that it was the only good thing the Herdmans ever did. And if they'd known it was a good thing, they wouldn't have done it at all. Kids in the same grade with Imogene always stayed out of her way. You couldn't do it if you're pretty or ugly or very smart or dumb, or had anything unusual about it, like red hair or double-jointed thumbs. If you were an average kid and you kept your mouth shut, you did okay. It was no good trying to get the secrets on the Herdmans. Everybody already knew about the awful things they did. You couldn't even tease them about their parents or holler, "Your father's in jail," because they didn't care. Actually, they didn't know what their father was or where he was or anything about him. Because when the youngest Herdman was 2 years old, he climbed on a railroad train and disappeared. But nobody blamed him. Mrs. Herdman worked double shifts at the shoe factory and wasn't home much, so the Herdmans pretty much looked after themselves. The big ones taught the little ones everything they knew. And the proof of that was that the meanest Herdman of all was the youngest. We figured they were headed straight for hell by way of the state penitentiary until they got themselves mixed up with the church, my mother, and our Christmas pageant.
days grow short, and nights are long and dark and cold. Light in our hearts the light of faith, and give us courage to learn from the darkness. Each of us has faced our own times of darkness. We have felt alone, we have been afraid. Yet we trust that we too will find that dark and light are two halves from one whole, and turn again to life with courage and with faith.
When Mrs. Helen Armstrong fell and broke her leg, my mother was put in charge of the Christmas pageant. Our Christmas pageant hasn't been what you'd call 4 hours of 4-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only exciting thing that ever happened to her. Stripped to standard, the inn, the stable, the shepherd, the star, and so are the costumes, and so is the casting. Primary kids are angels, intermediate kids are shepherds, big boys are wise men. Homer Stromberg, the minister's son, has been Joseph for as long as I can remember. And my friend Alice is Mary because she's so smart, so neat and clean, and most of all, so holy looking. All the rest of us, like the angel of fire, lined up according to him, tight, because nobody can sing parts. But this year was different. My brother Charlie had told the Hermans that there was a cake at the rehearsal, and suddenly they all wanted to be Christmas pageant. But this year was different. My brother Charlie told the Hermans that there would be cake at the rehearsal, and suddenly they all wanted to be in the Christmas pageant. At the first meeting, we started by asking for volunteers.
Let's see now, we've got 2 girls who could be married, and we can have only one, so can we have them volunteer?
That was pretty safe to say, since the only person who ever raised her hand was Alice. But Alice just sat there chewing on a piece of her hair and looking down at the floor. And the only person who raised her hand this time was Imogene Herman.
Imogene, do you have a question?
No, I want to be married. Ralph here wants to be Joseph.
We just stared at him. We couldn't believe it. What she didn't know was that Imogene had bullied Alice into letting her be married, and Elmer Stromberg was relieved that he didn't have to be Joseph again. Last year, in fact, he tried to take Grady Baker for 50 cents, but Joseph he wouldn't do it. Nobody volunteered to be the wise one either, except Leroy, Claude, and all they heard him. So there we were, stuck with a Christmas pageant full of Hermans playing roles. Some people said it wasn't fair that the whole family who didn't even go to church would barge in and take over the pageant. My father said somebody better lock up the silver service. My mother just said she would rather be in the hospital with Mrs. Armstrong. But then the flower committee took a pot of uranium to Mrs. Armstrong and told her what was going on, and she nearly fell out of the hospital bed, traction bars and all. She said that she'd been up and around, the whole thing would never have happened, and that made my mother so mad she couldn't see straight.
That Helen Armstrong, my God, makes me so angry. She seems to think she's the only person in the whole world who can direct a Christmas pageant. I'll bet she's even surprised that the sun came up in the morning when she isn't there to direct it. Now, I didn't want this job. I didn't ask for it, but I'm stuck with it. So, I'm going to do help of the herdmen and God, we're going to make this the best Christmas pageant ever. Right, everybody? Right.
So, Mother called the first rehearsal. Everybody shut up right away when they were missing something awful. Leroy had already knuckled Charlie behind here. One little girl yelled as flies went by. And Mother said she was going to ignore everything except blood. And since the little girl wasn't bleeding, and neither was Charlie, nothing happened. Even so, right away, Mother ran into trouble. Leroy said,
Who are the shivers? Where'd they come from? What's an inn?
Well, an inn is more kind of like a hotel where people stay overnight when they're traveling.
Jesus?
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
What?
What happened first? Begin at the beginning.
the whole thing was the herders didn't know anything about the Christmas story. They knew that Christmas was Jesus' birthday, but everything else was news to them. The shepherds, the wise men, the star, the stable, the crowded inn. Some others said she'd better begin at reading the story from the Bible. This was a pain in the neck for most of us because we know the whole thing backward and forward.
Mary and Joseph, his espoused wife, being great with child.
Pregnant.
I think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant.
But she was.
I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant. Tell my mother.
Tell her what?
But your mother is talking about things like that in church.
I was pretty sure she would too, because she still wanted to be married. But there wasn't much I could do about it, but be jealous. As Mother told the story, one of the herdsmen would yell, "What's that?" whenever they didn't understand something.
You mean there wasn't any room in the inn? Not even for Jesus?
Well, now you know nobody knew that this baby was going to turn out to be Jesus.
You said Mary knew. Why didn't she tell him?
I would have told him. Boy, would have I told him. Why didn't Joseph tell him? What's the matter with him? Her being pregnant and all.
What was it? They laid the baby in a manger? Is that like a bed? Why would they have a bed in the barn?
Well, of course, there wasn't a bed in the barn, and Mary and Joseph had to make do with what they had. So, what would you do with the new baby if you had one in the bed to put it in?
We put Gladys in a dresser drawer.
Well, see, there you are. If you don't have a bed, you make do with what you have. Mary and Joseph used a manger, and a manger is a big wooden trough for feeding animals. The what?
Not enough clothes. Really?
Oh, that swaddling clothes. Many years ago, people used to take their poor baby and wrap it in a big piece of fabric very tightly so that the baby couldn't move. And that made the baby feel very warm and comfortable.
Why didn't Mary get to name the baby?
I named him.
I'd have named him Bill. What did the angel do? Just walk up and say, name the baby Jesus?
Mother was in a hurry to finish, so she said,
Yes.
but then Alice had to open her big mouth.
I know what the angel said. She said, his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
My God, you would never got out of first grade if you had to write all that.
really interested in Herod. My mother said that Herod planned to put the baby Jesus to death. Imogene exclaimed,
My God, the baby's not even born yet, and already they're trying to kill him.
I figured they were interested in Herod because they liked him. He was so mean he could have been one of their ancestors. Herod Herdman. I was wrong. They wanted somebody to be Herod so they could beat up on him. I couldn't understand the Herdmans. You would have thought the Christmas story came right out of the Hubbard County Sheriff's file. They got so involved, wanted to flood into Herod, heard about Mary having a baby in a barn, and called the wise guys a bunch of dirty spies. After she finished the story, we got it through. During the second rehearsal, Mrs. McCarthy called the fire department because she smelled smoke in the women's bathroom. It just turned out to be Imogene smoking cigars during a regular rehearsal. But while everyone was milling about on the street, the applesauce cake that the local ladies had been making burned up. When Pastor Stromberg heard about the fire, she asked Mother if we should call the whole thing off. She said the whole church was in an uproar and she didn't think anyone would come to the pageant. But she was wrong. Everybody came. They wanted to see what the Herdmans would do.
Christmas has come once more. Light in our hearts the light of hope. And you better remember that the parents of Jesus were neither rich, nor powerful, nor famous. From the most humble beginnings, anyone can carry in themselves the seeds of greatness and a great light. Help us to remember that in each one of us burns a flame that brightens the world.
The night of the pageant, there was the usual big mess all over the place. Baby angels getting poked in the eye by other baby angels. Wings and grumpy shepherds tripping over their costumes. And everything settled down at 7:30 pageant. When we were finished singing over the town of Bethlehem, Ralph and Imogene was there. They came in the side door, only for once. They didn't come in through the door, pushing each other out of the way. They just stood there for a minute, as if they weren't sure that they were in the right place, because of the lights, I guess, and the church being full of people. Children looked like the people you see on the 6 o'clock news, refugees in some strange other place with all their boxes and sacks around them. It suddenly occurred to me that this was just the way it must have been for the real Holy Family. Stuck away in a barn by people who didn't much care what happened to them. They couldn't have been very neat and tight either, but more like this, Mary and Joseph.
I don't think it's very nice to put the baby Jesus by the head collie. You don't suppose he had dogs?
I didn't know why not. Anyway, that's the kind of Galatas from from behind the angel choir, pushing people out of the way, stepping on everyone's feet. And since Gladys was the only one of the pageant who had anything to say, she made the most of it.
Hey, unto you a child is born.
At this time of sharing with one another that which is deepest and dearest, light in our hearts, the light of love. Heal in our hearts the wounds of misunderstanding, mistakes, am I at the right place? Yeah, I am. Help us each to reach out with joy for the gift of blood which life and love offer us. Sustain our hopes as we work together toward bringing everyone in the circle of one human family. Grant each one of us a wise and understanding heart. I almost wish for the pageant along with the Burnings in charge to see what else they would do that was different. Maybe the wise men would tell Mary about the problem with hair, and they would tell them to go back and lie their heads on. Or Joseph might go with them and get rid of hair once and for all. I was so busy planning the ways to save the baby Jesus that I didn't notice imaging first. I did. I almost dropped my impulse when my baby on a baby angel. Her face was all shining with tears, and she didn't even bother to rush her away. She just sat awful early Imogene in purple veil, crying and crying and crying. I guess Christmas just came over her all at once, like a case of chills and fever, and so she was crying. raised in Proverbs, anyone who lays a hand on her baby, and the wise men are always going to look like blue, white, and feathers with bearing ham. When we came out of the church that night, it was cold and clear, crunchy snow underfoot, and bright stars overhead. And I thought of what the angels were. Gladys, with her skinny legs and a dirty snake sticking out from under the road, yelling at us everywhere.
Hey, unto you a child is born.
Okay, now we are pleased to have with us the Church Choir doing an encore performance of their concert 2 nights ago. They were directed by Tanya Zeman.
These two before they tried to save any more school property.
We came to see if Mr. Lindsay could use any help. Hey, what happened to the big school clock?
The district will use it in another school, I suspect. Now, we're done with this monstrosity forever.
Well, we bought it for Mr. Lindsay and Mrs. Howell as a way of showing our appreciation, saying goodbye.
Suit yourself. At this point, it really doesn't matter.
Well, it seems funny after all these years. No more children's voices here.
Gives me the shivers. No more kids playing in the swings and writing on the chalkboard and learning to read, playing softball. It's just all a memory.
They say you can't stop progress. Look to the future, they say. What kind of future will it be?
What do you think will happen to this old school?
Well, maybe they'll turn it into a community center for a while. Block out the auditorium and board up the windows, you know, to save heat.
It won't last. When you close the school, you take the heart right out of the community.
Oh yeah, the school might stay active for a while, but new people will come along and they won't know our history.
They'll say, let's tear down this old school building. Let's divest ourselves of it. We can't sink our tax money into this anymore. We'll demolish this school and build something else. Something more sensible. Who cares about history? Let's look to the future. It's just a no-brainer.
And those of us who might object, well, we're just country people, you know. Country folk is living in the past.
And then Mary won't even be a memory anymore.
Oh, that'll be
Christmas.
First piece, the memo sing for you is Danza Danza, and it's Dance Now Fear Me.
Danza, danza, fanciulla, io canta. Danza, danza, fanciulla, gentile, io canto. Ci piacerà Suono del monte senti il vago rumore dell'ora scherzozza che vada a correre nella grido che vita
Next piece of men will sing for you is Sing for Joy by George Trevor.
Sing for joy, sing out in a joyful song, sing out in a joyful song, sing joy and praise forevermore. Sing for joy, sing out in a joyful song, sing in a joyful song, sing joy and praise forevermore. Joy, joy, sing out in a joyful song, sing out in joyful song. Joy, joy, joy. Sing for joy. Sing out in a joyful song. Sing out in a joyful song. Sing joy and praise forevermore. Sing joy and praise forevermore. Sing for joy. Sing out in a joyful song. Sing out in a joyful song. Sing joy and praise forevermore.
The next piece will feature the women of the choir, and they'll be singing La Lu La Lo. And a lot of our choir members are already out of town for the holidays, so we've had some of my junior high kids step up and learn the music in just a couple weeks. So. Next piece is called Winter Moon.
Next will be a trio of Anna Rogers, Mary Rogers, and Sarah Rogers performing Into the West.
Lay down your sweet and weary head. Night is falling. You have come to Journey's End.
before we do our last number program, I just want to give some thanks. I know that I'm going to leave people out if I try to name names, but I just want to thank all the cooks, and board members, and Talia and the Dragmore Choir, and all the people that volunteered to get ready for this. We couldn't have done without you, and so I just wanted to express that.
Can I say something real quick? You don't know me, but Wayne, how about Wayne? I mean, he's done so much. Wayne's sister Olivia, also right over here, has done a lot of work. I just wanted to say that because he's always worried about leaving someone out, and they're always getting fired sometimes.
Okay, before we do the last piece again, this is another announcement quick. Sorry about all the announcements, I suppose. But in thanks of Olivia Hoff for everything you've done for here in Nary and everywhere you've been, we would like to present to you this.
I know.
And I'm so glad that I was able to come. And I have a little bit of a treat for each of the children. If they want to come up here, we've got some treats to pass out for you.